1,000-pound sisters Tammy Slayton reveals significant update regarding Andrea relationship following skin removal surgery. Tammy Slayton from 1,000 LB Sisters has revealed startling information on her relationship with her girlfriend, Andrea Dalton, following her skin removal surgery. Tammy has been actively participating in public engagements following her surgery and was recently a guest on a podcast where she disclosed a significant relationship update. A Zell film company disseminated the video of the Creative Chaos podcast with Tammy. When host Hunter Azell inquired about Tammy's leisure activities outside of filming, she responded, "My fiancé and I simply relax at home." When Hunter halted her, "Wait, you mentioned fiancé." Tammy exhibited a flush of embarrassment. She disclosed that they visit Walmart and stroll to obtain their everyday exercise. Hunter observed that Tammy was adorned with a necklace bearing her fiancé's name. "What is her name?" he inquired. Tammy disclosed that it was Andrea, as she was unable to contain her laughter. She raised her left hand to display her diamond ring to the camera. Hunter inquired of Tammy the duration of her relationship with Andrea. She disclosed, nearly 3 years. The host proposed to record her wedding, to which Tammy consented, without disclosing any specifics on her forthcoming nuptials. Nonetheless, Tammy Slayton's astonishing weight loss transformation cannot obscure the genuine issue facing 1,000 LB Sisters in Season 7. Tammy Slayton, the older of the two sisters on 1,000 LB Sisters, has achieved notable weight loss improvement in Season 7. Her health had deteriorated over the years. She depended on oxygen for respiration, required assistance for mobility, and rejected medical guidance. Transformations commenced only following a near-fatal incident that resulted in her hospitalization and subsequent rehabilitation. She resided there for several months and was ultimately granted approval for bariatric surgery. Since that time, she has shed over 500 pounds, and this accomplishment became the primary subject of 1,000 LB Sisters Season 7. Nevertheless, the show allocates minimal time to the preceding issues. There is minimal reference to her treatment of family or the harm inflicted on her relationships. The portrayal of Tammy presented to viewers appears innovative yet too refined. TLC cultivates a misleading portrayal of the efficacy of weight reduction surgery by omitting the more complicated aspects during editing. It conveys an erroneous message regarding rehabilitation and allows Tammy to evade responsibility for the emotional labor she is yet to undertake. Tammy possesses a well-documented history of rudeness and hostility in the previous seasons of 1,000 LB Sisters. She frequently admonished her sister, Amy Slayton, particularly when Amy urged her to adhere to her diet. In a particular scene, Amy only requested her to retrieve her own peanut butter. Tammy berated her, deemed her insensitive, and compelled her to vacate the premises. Tammy exhibited a tendency to adopt a victim mentality. Upon departing rehab prematurely, she attributed her circumstances to others rather than assuming accountability. In Season 3, when her nurse urged her to walk a small distance for exercise, Tammy angrily assaulted her, asserting that the nurse failed to comprehend the extent of her anguish. The nurse ultimately resigned due to the poor treatment she received. In light of her prolonged relapses, outbursts, and evasion of accountability, the network may be attempting to mitigate viewer weariness by concealing her past behaviors and temperament. In Season 7 of 1,000 LB Sisters, the negative aspects of Tammy's character have inexplicably vanished. Even under strain, such as delays in her surgery, her response remains calm and composed, exhibiting minimal symptoms of distress. The program suggests that Tammy has ceased vaping. At a recent meet and greet, a video captured her vaping unaware that she was being recorded. Her half-brother, Chris Combs, frequently undertook the responsibility of maintaining Tammy's stability in the initial seasons. He confronted her on her detrimental practices and experienced emotional distress when she reacted aggressively. In Season 7, Chris merely participates in supportive discussions, exhibiting no signs of irritation or concern as previously observed. Such instances provoke inquiries regarding the extent of genuine change and the omissions present. Notwithstanding her weight loss, Tammy has yet to obtain her driver's license and remains dependent on others for transportation. The show fails to interrogate her avoidance of responsibility. Furthermore, Tammy hardly recognizes those who assisted her in reaching this point. Chris took leave from work, accompanied her to medical appointments, and embarked on his own weight loss quest to provide support. However, Tammy discusses her achievement as though she achieved it independently. Her interviews are egocentric, and she exhibits minimal to no appreciation for Chris. In Season 7, there are specific scenes where fragments of Tammy's former personality emerge. In Season 7, Episode 6 of 1000 LB Sisters, titled, "She's Got This Mentality," Tammy critiques Amy's new residence upon her visit. She ridicules the backyard and jestingly suggests that the Loch Ness monster resides in the pool due to its filthy appearance. In a subsequent episode, Tammy asserts that she is now the most gorgeous sister. It appeared arrogant and malicious, particularly towards Amy, who is endeavoring to lose weight and reconstruct her life. Nevertheless, 1,000-pound sisters Amy Slayton posts a photo with her fiancé Brian Lovvorn, but it results in a significant backlash. Admirers of Amy Slayton are expressing their concerns in the comments section of her Instagram image featuring her 2 sons and fiancé Brian Scott Lovvorn. Admirers of Amy Slayton express apprehension regarding her fiancé, Brian Scott Lovvorn. The 1,000-pound sisters star shared a family photograph with Brian and her 2 children, Gage, aged 4, and Glenn, aged 2, on Instagram on Friday, June 20th. Amy has 2 children with her ex-husband, Michael Halterman, who initiated divorce proceedings in 2023. The photograph depicted the 4 individuals in an ice cream establishment, with the children indulging in the dessert as Amy and Brian smiled directly at the camera. She captioned the post, "A day of swimming and ice cream." Despite the engaged couple's apparent excitement, the comments on the page conveyed a different sentiment. Amy's fans seemed apprehensive regarding her relationship with Brian and voiced their apprehensions. One enthusiast stated, "No, I am declaring it. There is something amiss with him. I pray the lads remain safe." A second fan remarked, "I believe the remainder of Amy's family has discerned that something is amiss with him. Thus, they are encouraging her to decelerate and become better acquainted with him." Amy appears to readily engage with everyone who offers her attention, both socially and intimately. She must prioritize her own development for the benefit of her 2 young sons. Another remarked, "Why are women so quick to introduce men to their children? I will never comprehend that. Lord, please safeguard these children, as I am experiencing distressing sensations." As others express their instincts and intuitions, one fan cautioned against forming judgments on Brian based on his appearance. The fan remarked, "For goodness sake, all these comments, wouldn't it be advantageous if we could discern someone's character based on their appearance? I have previously stated that if he possessed any criminal history, as suggested by many of you, or if there were any rumors, she is too prominent for the media to remain unaware. One should not evaluate a book solely by its cover, as their father exhibits similar mannerisms." The couple has been together since 2024, and it was disclosed in an episode of Season 7 of Amy's TLC show, 1,000-Pound Sisters, that Brian proposed after 5 months of courtship. The sports journalist posed the question in a padded chamber of Henderson Haunt's haunted home in Henderson, Kentucky, during the winter of 2024. Amy and Brian's relationship was disclosed on the show during an episode aired on April 15th, and then confirmed by Amy on Instagram 2 days later. Amy disclosed that they encountered each other in the mosh pit at a performance. Prior to the couple's public acknowledgement of their relationship, Brian and Amy garnered media attention in September 2024 when they were apprehended at a Tennessee zoo for drug possession and child endangerment. In December 2024, they entered a guilty plea for 1 count of simple possession of marijuana and 1 count of simple possession of mushrooms, while the 2 counts of child endangerment were dismissed. Nonetheless, the physician of 1,000-Pound Sisters Tammy Slayton has disclosed details of her significant weight loss and her methods for maintaining her reduced weight subsequently. Tammy gained prominence with her participation in the TLC reality television series with her sister, Amy, in 2020. The 38-year-old remarkably shed an astonishing 500 pounds following bariatric surgery in 2022 and then entered a weight reduction rehabilitation program. Tyla has met with Tammy's bariatric surgeon, Dr. Eric Smith, to gain insights into her significant weight loss journey and her ability to maintain her current weight after previously exceeding 700 pounds, about 50 stone, at her peak. Dr. Eric, the national leader in robotic bariatric surgery, elucidated that Tammy reached her rock bottom in 2021 following a near-death episode due to respiratory failure, occurring merely one day after her return to rehabilitation. She was subsequently placed on a ventilator and induced into a medically induced coma after experiencing respiratory failure. Upon awakening, she received a tracheotomy tube and, about 3 weeks later, she returned to rehabilitation once more. The surgeon observed, at that time, she was willing to acknowledge her need for assistance. She lacked complete clarity, yet she was prepared to confide in us. She was amenable to receiving assistance. Following an extensive rehabilitation process, Tammy successfully lost sufficient weight to qualify for bariatric surgery, a technique designed to assist individuals with obesity in weight reduction and the management of obesity-related ailments. It functions by altering the digestive system to diminish the quantity of food an individual can ingest and assimilate, as well as to attenuate the hunger signals transmitted from the digestive system to the brain. Tammy's remarkable weight loss journey has been chronicled on 1,000 Pound Sisters, with numerous admirers elated that she no longer need a wheelchair for mobility after reducing her weight to just over 300 pounds, an achievement she described as unbelievable. Regarding Tammy's remarkable weight loss, Dr. Eric informed Tyla that, notably, the most dramatic transformation is the significant improvement in her mental health. The most notable aspect of Tammy's journey is her evident weight loss, which captures attention. However, her progress and significant transformation in mental health are, in my opinion, more profound than the weight she has shed, he elucidated. The surgeon remarked that Tammy was struggling with compliance and many mental health difficulties, stating, "She would resort to food during difficult times, and we recognized the necessity of addressing that before discussing surgery." Although surgery played a crucial role in Tammy's weight loss journey, Dr. Eric emphasized the fundamental lifestyle modifications she adopted. He informed Tyla, "The lifestyle changes initiated at that time were primarily fundamental practices, such as portion control." Upon her admission to rehabilitation, we did not restrict her from consuming specific meals. I do not believe that is effective. I believe that is incorrect, as it does not reflect reality. Confining an individual and depriving them of conventional sustenance is not reflective of reality. You will reintegrate them into society, and they will regress. I aim to simulate real-life scenarios, allowing her to make independent judgments. We can provide advice on portion sizes, but I desire her to consciously pick. For instance, I should select that chicken instead of that spaghetti. He instructed Tammy on the significance of proper portion control and urged her to make healthier food choices, stating, "Initially, we aim to simplify things for her by focusing on portion control and encouraging better food selections, prioritizing protein, emphasizing wholesome fruits and vegetables, and attempting to reduce the intake of processed foods and sugars in her diet." At the weight loss facility, he and Tammy concentrated on physical activity and fundamental tasks that she was unable to perform at home. Dr. Eric saw that by combining those two factors, she began to experience weight loss. I believe that inspired her, as she desired more of that. The physical improvements she perceived in her body and observed in the mirror persisted in motivating her, and we continue to provide our support in this regard. Greetings, esteemed viewers. Welcome to my channel. I am Mina. I hope your day is going well. If you like the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel.